For 50 minutes, Joe Biden interwove foreign and domestic policy, his own post-debate mistakes, the history of the relations between South Korea and Japan, his own calculations and miscalculations about retaining the presidency, Israel.
I met with the King of Jordan. I met with most of the Arab leaders to try to get a consensus going as to what had to be done to deal with getting more aid and food and medicine into the Gaza Strip. I know Israel well, and I support Israel, but this war cabinet is one of the most conservative war cabinets in the history of Israel. And there's no ultimate answer other than a two-state solution here. The question has been from the beginning, what's the day after in Gaza? And the day after in Gaza has to be, the end of the day after has to be no occupation by Israel on the Gaza Strip.
Okay, he expressed the openness to changing both the approach and maybe even the candidates of the Democratic Party. Instead, our failure of a media, the bane of the U.S. democracy and the pimple on the backside of our country, only heard a silly gaffe that took 2 seconds and had no reporting on the other 49 minutes and 58 seconds of actual important and necessary news.
As Putin amassed Russian forces just 100 miles north of Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, but Putin thought it was the mother home of Russia. The capital would fall in less than a week. But the Ukrainian people, backed by a coalition to help build, stopped them. Today, Kyiv still stands, and NATO stands stronger than it has ever been. Meanwhile, my predecessor has made it clear he has no commitment to NATO. He's made it clear that he would feel no obligation to honor Article 5. He's already told Putin, and I quote, "Do whatever the hell you want." In fact, the day after Putin invaded Ukraine, here's what he said. It was genius. It was wonderful. Some of you forgot that, but that's exactly what he said. But I made it clear, a strong NATO is essential to American security. And I believe the obligation of Article 5 is sacred.
All of that other 49 minutes was something that could only be handled by a president who was smarter than a fifth grader and obviously mentally fit, unlike the orange monkey that the media would rather watch dance around because it makes their job easier. They don't have to explain anything.
Monkey.
And we're getting a beautiful visual representation of that right now by my illustrious and illuminated co-host. People. I guess the point is, our media, instead of reporting facts on history, complex issues, a war in Israel, a plan for a ceasefire, okay? Instead of reporting on the things that are actually matter in a speech, they found two gaffes and reported on it. Because you know what? Who needs facts? Who needs the understanding of complex issues? Who needs well thought out plans that take into account history, world politics, diverse insights, when you can have a monkey? Right? That's where we are. So, to help me break this down, I've got my illustrious, illuminated, intelligent co-host, Laura Malcolm. How you doing, my dear?
TGIF, did me and my monkey come in a little too soon?
No, it was good. It was a great visual of the actual monkey business I was talking about. The point is, people, would you like to have an idea of what was actually said? You see, while they were hoping for their monkey, Laura, while they were looking for the monkey business, something to get clicks, there was actual news that was being made.
Just this morning, we had a great economic report showing inflation is down. Overall prices fell last month. Core inflation is the lowest it's been in 3 years. Prices are falling for cars, appliances, and airfares. Grocery prices have fallen since the start of the year. We're going to keep working to take down corporate greed to bring those prices down further. Meanwhile, Trump's calling for a 10% tariff on everything Americans buy, including food from overseas, vegetables, and other necessities. And economists tell us that would cost the average American working family another $2,500 a year. It's a tax of $2,500 a year. Second, our efforts to secure the border, southern border, is working. After Trump killed the bipartisan effort to secure the border, Republicans and Democrats had worked on, because he thought it would benefit me and make him a loser, Republicans walked away. So I took executive action last month. As a consequence, working with Mexico, border encounters have gone down over 50%. The current level is lower today than when Trump left office. And that is that the way to build this economy is from the middle out and the bottom up. That way, we grow the economy. And the wealthy still do very well. They do fine. And guess what? Find me an economist, a mainstream economist, who said we haven't done well. What have we not done that isn't working right now? And so we got more to do, though. We got to finish the job, corporate. But corporate profits have doubled since the pandemic, doubled. It's time things get back in order a little bit. It's time, for example, if I'm reelected, we're going to make sure that rents are kept at 5% increase in corporate rents for apartments and the like and homes are limited to 5%. Remember how I got so roundly criticized for being so pro-union, not labor, union. Well, guess what? I've been the most pro-union labor president in history. Not a joke. And guess what? We had the Treasury Department do a study. When unions do better, everybody does better. So the whole idea here is we've invested, there's over $50 billion in investment in computer chip manufacturing just coming in the bean. None of you thought that would happen. None of you thought that would happen. But it's happening. It's happening. And it's going to grow economies. All three, and by the way, red states and blue states. Matter of fact, there's as much in red states as blue states. I've made no distinction.
The point is, the man spoke about absolutely everything. He answered every question. He went through actual history and the weaving of politics.
I was able to get 50 other nations, 50, to support Ukraine. 50. We were able to bring about a coalition of Europe and Asia, Japan and South Korea. I just we talked about AUKUS, and we talked about the relationship between Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, the United States. We're making the world safer and stronger. You have to make it clear China has to understand that if they are supplying Russia with information and capacity, along with working with North Korea and others to help Russia in armament, that they're not going to benefit economically as a consequence of that by getting the kind of investment they're looking for.
The only thing we could find upon trying to get a decent headline of what happened for 50 minutes is this horse shit. The man needs help. Joe Biden fails NATO press conference. That's the headline. Here's another one, YouTube. President Biden responds to being asked about mixing up names for President Putin and Zelensky. That's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one from the Times, the New York Times, the Sunday Times. Biden makes string of gaffes in crucial press conference. A string of gaffes? Really? A string of gaffes. Or was it that reporting on things like the nature of the conflict in Israel
that I shouldn't
wasn't easy enough?
But there's no indication of that yet.
All
And
right, it
about
was the
4
most
weeks later, I
successful
got a call.
75th
No, that's not true.
Successful NATO gathering.
Probably 5 months later.
75th anniversary, big deal.
The most successful.
Apparently.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Would you guys out there in Team Drain Land, would you like to know what actual human beings like yourself and myself thought? Let's check it out. Because the media that's lying and failing and tossing our country into the garbage can and burning it on fire and watching the smoke go up and inhaling it for sustenance is a farce. The people who decide elections are the people who always decide elections. Me and you.
Now, he
This
even
is what
asked
they
him
think.
about alternative candidates. Watch this.
He's a strong guy.
What do you think? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that. I think what came across was that of what he is. Joe Biden is very caring about people. He's very knowledgeable and experienced, and he's not just out for himself, that he really cares about the country.
And there's no chance that you would be more confident with the Kamala Harris or your governor here, Whitmer, here in the state of Michigan,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Joe Biden did an excellent job.
during this news conference.
No. During his visit to the pool. During dinner, dumbass. What do you mean during this news conference? Isn't that what they're there for? Is that surprising to you? Because you thought they would care more about the stupid 2-second gaffe like you did? That's why you're surprised, media. You thought that the rest of us were as stupid and fucked up as you are. We're not. We listened to the conference. We weren't looking for a gaffe. Most of those people don't have YouTube pages. They don't need clicks. They want to know who can be president. You want to know who's the best monkey to follow. Thank you, Laura. I see you going for it. This is the key. Please bang the monkey. We
Shut
don't.
the monkey! Shut the monkey!
Let's see
Had
what
to
else
say
American
after
people have to
watching
say,
the
Laura.
press conference.
The two of you weren't decided. My question for you, you weren't decided before this happened if you should stay in the race. How do you feel now after watching this news conference?
Relieved, and I think he should stay in.
Now, you may not have heard that, Laura, 'cause I know you're growing on a delay. The question,
Yeah, a little bit.
the question was simply, you two people were undecided about whether or not he should stay. What do you feel after this conference? You know what she said? Relieved. I feel relieved. Now I know for sure he should stay in.
Of course, there were going to be a lot of questions about President Biden's health during the press conference. Everybody was shocked at
Let's
what
take
we
a look.
saw.
Presidency is the most straining job in the world, and it's 24/7. How can you say you'll be up for that next year, in 2 years, in 4 years, given the limits you've acknowledged that you have today?
The limits I've acknowledged I have.
There's been reporting that you've acknowledged that you need to go to bed earlier and your evening around 8.
Our disgrace of the United States media just asked this man about the limits that he had because he said he'd rather wake up early and go to bed early rather than go to bed late. How can you perform the presidency while going to bed early, Joe Biden? I wonder. This is amazing. It's unbelievable that you want to go to bed. You have so many limits. His facial expression was the exact correct one. What the F are you talking about?
Bye, Felicia. That was her actual name.
My God.
That's
I
not
mean,
true.
didn't Trump sleep till 11 or something and
Did
rush
it?
his way over there and fart for a few hours and then maybe order lunch and then maybe have a meeting.
No. Here's a question. Didn't Trump bury his wife in the golf course for a tax break? What are you talking about? Press? Media? What are you talking about? Didn't Trump bury his wife on his own golf course and let the grass grow over her headstone so you can't read it for a tax break? What are you worried about? This guy going to bed early. He just told you about all the foreign pieces that you needed to know. You don't have a question about those?
Look, what I said was, instead of my every day starting at 7 and going to bed at midnight, it'd be smarter for me to pace myself a little more. And I said, for example, the 8, 7, 6 stuff, instead of starting a fundraiser at 9 o'clock, start at 8 o'clock. People get to go home by 10 o'clock. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, and if you looked at my schedule since I made that stupid mistake in the campaign, in the debate, I mean, my schedule has been full bore. I've done, where's Trump been? Riding around in his golf cart, filling out his scorecard before he hits the ball? I mean, look, he's done virtually nothing.
What?
Can we get that monkey? Where's the monkey? Monkey!
Monkeys.
That's too much.
Monkey wants to renew his contract.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. This is too much news. I'm having to work too hard. Having to work too hard. I need the monkey because funny enough, we don't get paid like any of those people at the presser. But you know what was sent to me before we even saw anything about this press conference by my illuminated, illustrious, and intelligent co-host? It was Joe Biden's schedule, the public schedule. 10 a.m., daily brief. 12, pool call time. 1 p.m., out-of-town pool call time. 1:55, departs the White House. Arrives, departs again, participates in this campaign, goes to the Wayne, Michigan route, for whatever that's about, arrives in Delaware, leaves Delaware, goes to Rehoboth Beach. What are we doing? Goes to this other daily brief. Goes to the Washington Convention Center. Then the NATO summit. And then another meeting with Zelensky. Oh, and then the second part of the NATO summit. Then the Ukraine Compact thing. And then another conference. And another daily briefs. And the AFL-CIO. And then this whole thing. Oh, we got to do this photo, this convention center, back to the White House. Oh, we got another call with another prime minister. That's the United Kingdom. Oh, then we go here, then we go there, then we go here. It's not 12 p.m. yet.
Damn, I couldn't do even a quarter of that. I'm 63.
The F are you talking about? You pimple on the ass of our country called the media. You are gross. You disgust me. You disgust us. You failed. You're a failure. You're a failure at your job. You're the only job mentioned in the Constitution, and you've disgraced it. You've pissed on it. You shit on it. And rub it into the ground every day. You suck. You stink. You're feces. You're gross. You're ugly. You're unacceptable. That's your question. That's your question. To the leader of the free world. Okay.
No, I've been screaming and raging at my screen ever since this all started too. This, let's kick him for any reason to get him down. You know? What the hell? Like, why is everybody got to ride on that bullshit train when they got no plan? All they're worried about is donors.
Well, I'll tell you what, people.
He's old. Donors and he's old.
Donors, and you know what? We'll get to that. The whole donors thing is really pissing me off. On the Democratic side, too, every commercial I've seen is just asking for money. Meanwhile, Trump is actually putting out lies, but actual campaign videos. When are you going to use the money? I haven't seen a campaign video that wasn't made by the Lincoln Project that was worth its salt, except for that one about the the lies about the soldiers. But anyway, we're not there yet. People, they despise you. They hate you. You are commodity. You're to be fleeced. You're to be squeezed for all you have. Your money, your pride if necessary. They hate you. They're not here to inform you. They all hate their jobs. None of them wanted to be news anchors. All of them wanted to be highfalutin lawyers or actors and failed. And were picked up by these monkey trainers. Last thing.
So your opinion's changed from not sure to he should stay in?
Yes.
Okay. And how about you? How do you feel? You weren't sure. How do you feel now?
Same. I think he's the logical choice.
I am so glad these ladies had a chance to tune into the press conference and see a different side of Joe Biden from what...
Okay. All right, people. So there you have it. There you have it. That was number one. We got a lot of things to go through today, but that's number one. One.
I saw a lot of real-time, real-person responses to a lot of that bullshit media.
Yeah.
In the chat rooms and in the comment sections, people were not impressed with the...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome to hear.
So how dare they attack my Joe? Just, people were saying, I gotta walk away from this because I'm ready to explode.
Yeah, that's why,
And
you know what?
Joe talk.
It's probably a good thing I waited until tonight to actually, I skimmed everything, but I wanted to make sure that I gave the true response tonight. You guys are getting it. They hate you. They hate us. We're a commodity. That's it.